Yo, what's good, everybody? Welcome back to The Last Word Sports. And today, we got the entire squad in the flesh this time. Welcome, Fletcher. Welcome back from Eugene.
Thank you.
Of course, we got our friend Nick, our friend Scott, and yours truly, Charlie Owens. And today, boys, we are going
yours
to be...
truly.
Yeah. Why can't I be yours truly?
Because I can't say yours truly and it's me. Bro. Common sense. Today we're talking about the Clippers, their chances in the playoffs. You know, they did win a huge Game 5 in Utah. However, Kawhi Leonard is doubtful for the rest of the series. Maybe
he's out for Game 6 for sure.
He's out for 6.
I just looked this up. They think he's got an ACL sprain.
Yeah.
He's done for the series. They're not sure moving forward. It's likely he's done for the year and will need surgery in the offseason. But there is a chance he comes back if they make it to the finals, but we really don't know right now. So just assume he's done for the year.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what I'm hearing is the Suns have the easiest road to the finals.
Except
and then the
if
Suns
the Clippers finish off the
finals.
Jazz in Game 6,
Then the Suns
like I
have the
predicted
easiest road
against
to the
you
finals.
clowns
Yes, we're sorry.
who all said they
We're
were
sorry.
done.
Hey, it was a close Game
Go
5.
back, watch the last
It was a close
video.
Game 5.
Fletch said Jazz in 5. All these guys clowned me for saying the Clippers were a deeper, more talented team and would win the series, okay? But anyways, first of all, I'd like to say, even if the Clippers lose the series now, they're down Kawhi Leonard, so I don't think it's fair.
brutal.
But
Yeah.
if they do manage to close out the Jazz in 6, listen, no,
That's just
I'm
an
just saying,
excuse for
if
the
they
Clippers
manage,
sucking.
okay, Kawhi Leonard was having one of the most historically efficient postseasons
He was
of
having
all
an
time.
incredible
I will
year,
give you the numbers if you want to hear.
It was amazing.
But listen, if the Clippers somehow manage to close the Jazz in Game 6, and by the way, the Jazz were 35-1 at home this year. On the road, they had a worse record than the Indiana Pacers, who missed the playoffs in the East, right? If they manage to win a home game against the Jazz, Chris Paul might be out for perhaps 14 days with COVID things.
Yeah, which is
So the Clippers might face
I don't
Chris
think
Paul.
However, this is still just an extension
no
of...
without Kawhi. I I do not see the Clippers.
It's-
beating
And
the
I do
Suns.
not think you
Not at all.
realize who their starting point guard would be.
Cameron Payne.
Cameron Payne!
I like Payne.
Okay,
I like
We love Cameron Payne!
Slapped
Cameron
by
Payne
Jokic.
is the pure.
Also, this is
underdog,
the
bro.
Suns team.
Everybody loves Cameron Payne.
This is the Suns team that went 8-0 in the bubble last year too. Like without CP3, they went 8-0 in the
How could
bubble.
you forget?
How could you forget?
How could you forget?
Ricky Rubio and Kelly Oubre?
Yeah,
You're right. You're right.
Please
You're
watch
right.
our last video and you'll understand.
You're right.
I don't know how I could have forgotten.
Is it Kelly Oubre and
then
Ricky
tell me 2
Rubio?
seconds later.
Oh my
Exactly.
gosh.
Let's not forget, boys. Yeah, man. This could turn into an interesting Western Conference Finals of 2 Titans without their best players.
I think it just makes it super easy for the Bucks to come through and win the finals.
I just want to say something real quick.
The Bucks, baby.
I just want to say something. I'm gonna hold you guys.
No, Fletch is right that I don't know if the Bucks will do it, but the Bucks are the last healthy team. They've gotten every break. And for years now,
Philly's healthy too, but
LeBron left the
we'll get-
East,
we'll get
Kawhi
to
left
But
the East.
Philly sucks. They're not even.
I don't
back
know.
I
average.
just want. Can I interrupt real quick? I just want to say.
And
Paul
Embiid,
George.
Embiid
No, let me
does
talk
have
about
a
Paul George real
meniscus
quick.
thing.
We don't want to listen.
No,
Scott,
okay.
go ahead.
I know Paul George gets a lot of hate for his postseason. Generally, he's been having his last couple of years. It's been rough in the playoffs. Let's be real. But I just want to give him props because this last series, he's actually now averaging more points than Kawhi this series. I know Kawhi was out for that last game, but still, he's averaging 29 points, 9.6 rebounds, 4.4 assists, 0.6 steals, 0.4 blocks. That's
I
not
think
really
what
interesting.
sucks
He's
in
playing
it,
like vaccinated.
On,
people
think
now.
what
on
sucks-
45% from the field and 42% from 3.
he's nice.
Killing it.
And the first series, he scored 20 points per game.
What is it?
He scored 20 points every play.
I didn't hear him.
I said he's playing like vaccinated P now.
I saw that.
So, Paul George has scored 20 points every game this playoffs.
Some of them inefficient.
Very
but still.
inefficient a lot of times against the Mavericks, but he's really shaped it up. And I think it sucks that KD had to have a top 5 playoff game ever the same week Paul George had a great, 37 and 16. Rudy Gobert
was
had 10
huge.
rebounds, and Paul George had 16.
Yeah.
Like,
Because
super
Gobert's a
clutch,
bum.
huge key performance. It got outshined by Kevin Durant.
Fletcher.
But still really
But
big.
another couple of big games from Reggie Jackson and Marcus Morris
Reggie Jackson this series
has been huge.
has been a
Marcus
dog.
Morris came out of
16
nowhere.
points.
Yeah.
16 points.
Super
They're,
solid.
they're allowing him to create, which is nice because they originally kind of used him as a spot-up shooter.
Mm-hmm.
So they're now kind of using him as, go out there and create your own
I
shot.
have never seen Reggie Jackson play like this.
Reggie
Yeah,
Jackson's
I
having.
No, I remember.
He's had
even
he's
his
had
picture
He's
days-
had games like on the Thunder where he's gone off.
Game 4
But
in like
not where
2014.
he's
I mean,
been
also on
able
the
to
Pistons.
create his shot like this
Yeah.
and kind of like control the offense because he had Kevin Durant, he had Russell Westbrook.
Well, the thing is that's shocking is how consistent he's been. Because the thing with Reggie
Yeah.
has always been he'll do it one game, and then
Yeah,
the next
you
game he'll
won't
go
do it.
5
Oh my
for
God.
And then he
16.
falls off the
He
face of the
drives you insane with the shots he takes. It's like, why are you pulling that? And this series, it's just been Reggie, why? And then they just all go in, just bottom of the
Wait,
net.
this is the craziest
splash.
stat. This is
and
the
it's like,
craziest stat.
okay, keep
Reggie
cooking.
Jackson, I know I said he averaged 16, but he's averaging on 58 shooting from the field, 52% from 3, and 100% from the line, which is ridiculous.
for the series?
For the
For the
series.
series.
How many shots have you taken from the line?
From the line? I don't know. 6. Yes.
Let's
But
go!
still, 58% from the field and 52% from 3. That's absurd.
52% is really good from 3, especially with how many he's
Yeah.
been shooting.
Yeah, because he's
But
15 of 29 in the series so
Yeah,
far,
but
which
like,
is ridiculous.
I think it's funny that you added the free throws when he's shot.
Well, I mean, I just
Yeah,
added it
we
'cause it was
weren't aware
interesting.
that
It was
you-
another
you-
interesting thing.
So, let's get to where, the
He's
real
popping off.
money matters, right? Who do you guys have finishing out the series and then in the Western Conference Finals?
okay.
If it was
with the
with-
new look, Kawhi out,
Okay.
and perhaps Chris Paul
Here's my
COVID.
thing, man. Here's my thing. Game 6 Clippers at home. I see your argument with the Jazz and how they're a bad road team.
And I don't think is Conley back. I don't think
That's
he's back.
another huge. That's a
I don't-
big part of
it's
their
not
game.
that huge.
Okay, Conley was an all-star for a reason. He was having a phenomenal.
He was
Well,
like an all-star.
He snubbed.
All-
I know.
Substitute.
But
Yeah.
like, still,
Yeah.
he was an all-star for a reason. He was extremely efficient. He almost won the 3-point contest. Obviously, he went against.
No,
the
he's a
three-point
very
shooter.
solid underrated.
He's a
player.
very solid
he's
defender.
good,
He,
he's good.
he was one of the best defensive Raptor players in the league, which is a pretty good defensive stat. He has been a really good player from this. Last year, I know I kind of talked bad about him because I was like, oh my gosh, I was kind of sick of everybody overrating him and that move to the Jazz.
Yeah.
And he really had a bad year last year. But this year, he has stepped up huge for them. I think it actually is a pretty big thing.
But
If he comes
I
back for
don't
this game,
think he's
Not when
gonna
you
play
have a guy
game
named
6.
Donovan Mitchell on your team, though.
Donovan Mitchell.
Obviously,
was
Donovan Mitchell
4
is an
for
all-star.
12
Donovan
against the
Mitchell's a
Clippers
crazy
in
player.
game 6.
Donovan
He had a bad
Mitchell
game. That's
was.
And
what?
Mitchell,
Fantastic.
by the way, Mitchell is listed as questionable for Game 6.
He is.
He's probably going to play. He's
gonna
still
play-
Got,
he's
what
gonna
was the
play
injury he
through-
had at the end of the year. I mean, he's just been kind of hobbling around. I think he injured it again in like Game 2.
He's gonna
He's
play
been-
through.
what was
See,
it?
and
Is
that-
it an ankle that he's been struggling with?
And
They
that-
took him out for
I
like the
think-
last month.
Going
of the
back to
season.
my point,
This
before
was 2
all
days ago.
three of you interrupted me. Nick, shut up. Going back to my point, Donovan Mitchell had probably his worst game in this playoff run that the Jazz have been going
Yeah.
on in Game 5, and that game was still relatively close. I understand.
Yeah,
Bojan
because
Bogdanovic had
they hit
huge
17 threes in the first half.
shots. Jordan Clarkson didn't play necessarily well either. My thing is, if those two guys who have been consistently producing for them have their pedestrian nights in Game 6, I find it difficult for the Clippers to.
You mean if they have good nights? Or if
Yeah,
they have-
they're
yeah,
honestly
'cause-
they're pedestrian nights because Donovan Mitchell, what he averaged like 24, 25 for the season.
Yeah, somewhere around
Like
there.
If he's
a
just
night like that,
if he's
efficiently,
just
if he's a
24.
night like that efficiently, where he can still be the ball handler on that
Yeah.
offense, Rudy Gobert plays,
Gets yammed on by
Rim-
Terrence Mann.
yeah.
Here's the
That
news
was
on
Rim,
Mike Conley.
only rim.
Yeah, I
protection.
find it difficult, especially without Kawhi Leonard, for the Clippers to stay competitive
Yeah.
in the series.
Mm-hmm. Chuck, you're an idiot. I'm taking Clippers in 6, and I'm taking
here's
Clippers.
another thing with
Here's
Mike
the
Conley.
thing. Here's the thing.
Clippers in 7
if-
without
if-
Kawhi
I think
in the West
If
Conference
Clarkson
Finals.
and Mitchell don't necessarily have the games that they should, the Clippers will absolutely win this series.
But
I'm not denying that at all. But like I do indeed think the Jazz have more.
Those
talent
are
on the
very
floor.
valid points.
I just want to interrupt real quick because there was more news on Mike Conley. Mike Conley said, and I quote, "If I could play, I would," and that was yesterday. So
Don't know.
it's
Don't
unlikely
know
he's
that
coming back
information.
for Game 6, but I think fully healthy, this team is winning. I know Kawhi's out, but if fully healthy, I think the Clippers close. I mean, the Jazz close this one out and win the next 2 games.
So,
if Kawhi's
Chuck,
healthy, the
you
Jazz-
just
No,
said,
I said since Kawhi is out, if Mike Conley comes back and he comes back tomorrow, right, then they will win this
So,
series.
Chuck,
but I don't think it's going to happen.
You
I don't
said
think
you
Mike
said
Conley's
something
coming
interesting
back.
there. You said with Kawhi out, the Jazz are the more talented team than the Clippers. But are they really? Because is Donovan Mitchell really better than Paul George right now?
No,
they're about the same.
And the surrounding pieces,
they're about.
I don't think the Jazz
similar.
are that much more talented.
If we're going, based
you
off
got Gobert,
but then they
if we're going based off All-Stars. Let's say Mike Conley was on the floor.
I'm assuming Conley's out for.
But let's assume Conley's out. You still have 2 All-Stars on the floor.
You got Boyan.
And you have comparable role players as well.
Yeah.
You got Boyan showing.
They mesh super well.
I understand no one has been hot, like, comparatively on the Jazz to a Reggie Jackson or a Marcus Morris in some cases. However, if we're going just based off of pure star power, I believe Donovan Mitchell offensively and Paul George offensively
kind of even out.
Yeah. I would agree with that. The only thing Paul George is better at is defense, obviously, over Donovan Mitchell.
And maybe playmaking. I would say maybe playmaking because Paul George is actually really solid.
Chauncey Billups has turned Paul George into the point guard for this team, and it's been really impressive to watch. He has done a masterful job, especially with Paul George's psyche. And that's why, even if Kawhi can't play, I'm taking the Clippers in 7 in the West Conference Finals.
I'm taking
over Phoenix.
Here's my thing, though. So far with this Clippers team,
I don't hate that, especially with Chris Paul out.
That's why if Chris Paul misses the first 3 games, bro, and the Clippers can steal 2 of them, I think they could close the series. And as much as I love Chris Paul, he is due for another playoff injury. That guy, it's a ticking time bomb on one of those hamstrings.
Hey, Scott,
not to be disrespectful, knock on wood, I hope he stays healthy.
He's not that guy.
No, he is that guy, man. He's that guy.
But my thing is that I think I agree with this Jazz team being more talented than this Clippers team with Kawhi out. And the reason why I say that is because you got Gobert too, and Gobert is the defensive player of the year, and he does deserve to be defensive player.
Gobert's nice.
Fraud defensive player of the year, by the way. Fraud.
When the Clippers go small, Ty Lue went
that's
small.
Tough. Yeah, when you go small, that's tough.
It's tough for him, man, because he can't guard anyone on the perimeter.
Because they go 5
It's kind of like what the Blazers needed to do with Enes Kanter and Zubac is that you just need Kanter out of the game. It just doesn't work. That's why I was saying
Gobert.
You can't play Zubac in the series because you got to play small ball. This is the
Exactly.
Jazz team.
Dude, I wouldn't play Zubac even if I wanted to go big.
When you're playing a team like the Nuggets, though, you need Zubac to run with Jokic type of, like he's big.
Just as rebounding.
At least to be able to
at least contest it.
With Jokic, to be honest, dude.
Yeah, he'll actually be more pesky.
Zubac is nice. He's just in the right system.
Yeah, he's a system player.
Yeah, but as I was saying about this talent, I know this is no huge thing. Royce O'Neal is nice for them. You got Joe Ingles. You got Jordan Clarkson.
Boyan yesterday in the clutch. Yeah, he's really good.
Royce O'Neal.
Well, I mean, he's actually a really tough defender.
Yeah.
That's kind of his thing. He's not really much of a
He's no better than a
offensive
Terrence
player.
Mann.
No.
Derek Favors is nice for
Andre
them.
Roberson.
I think this team has more
Derek
solid role
Favors
players.
is rolling in
He's
his
like
grave.
He's
after
like
what they did to him. He's no longer a factor in this series.
Yeah, it's just because
He's no longer a factor in this league.
I don't know, but still,
I know he's bad.
If they run small ball, I can see it, actually being really tough for them,
No.
just because Gobert is not going to be able to play minutes.
I agree with that, but at the same time, I do think that Chuck's point is valid that the Jazz are just a more talented team with Kawhi
I
out.
would not be shocked
100%.
at all if the Clippers lose the next 2.
It's exactly what
Kawhi Leonard
you
was
said.
having, I think, if you're talking points per 100 possessions, was actually having, the best postseason of all time. And obviously, I don't know if he was having the best postseason of all time, but he was having a super efficient, dominant, offensive.
It was great.
Playoffs, and defensively, when asked, he stepped up in big moments. And so losing him is a really big ask for the rest of the team to go and finish the series. But I got faith in Ty Lue and Paul George, and this is a new Clippers team.
Yeah,
and part
without
of
Doc Rivers.
Every time you lose and you deal with that adversity, you learn from it and you get better. And I don't think these are the same old Clippers who are just going to flame out in the second round. I think they're handling things better and they're responding. Ty Lue, his confidence never wavered. They got down 0-2 to Dallas, and they're down 30-11 on the road in a packed sellout stadium. Screaming fans, and they came back and won that game. And so I just have a lot of faith in this Clippers team.
He's got a great mindset leading this team. He knows how to deal with the players and the personnel really well.
I think
he doesn't choke.
Yeah, he doesn't choke. He
Doc
doesn't freak
Rivers.
out like Doc
we're
Rivers.
going to be talking about that. That is.
But Ty Lue, obviously it was hard to tell how much he did on that Cavs team because they came back and
With
won the
LeBron.
title.
It was
But,
just Bron.
LeBron.
you don't have
Bron was the coach of
admittedly,
that
one
team.
of us probably could have won a title with prime LeBron. He was just out of his mind.
It was
That
ridiculous.
said,
Kyrie.
I love what Ty
Kyrie's
Lue
huge
has
for
done
him,
with this team. He has been a very solid, steady presence
Underrated
as the head
coach,
coach.
yeah, I agree.
He's mixed up the lineups and kept the
He's
Jazz
also
guessing.
had
He
a
went small.
lot of
He's done
help
a
on that
solid
assistant
job.
Staff, though.
Chauncey Billups,
Chauncey
Chauncey
Billups,
Billups
very
is huge.
solid.
I'm like,
Yeah.
Yep.
no, he's on that net.
We're snagging
But they
him.
got Kenny Atkinson too.
Yeah, that's the guy.
Yeah.
That's the guy.
He's that
Oh,
guy.
dude, Kenny
He's that
Atkinson's
guy.
like
He's an assistant on the Clippers. And you got
The old-
the greatest GM ever,
Yeah.
Mr. Jerry West.
Jerry West, the GOAT.
The logo.
The logo.
Okay, so final predictions for the series. I have the Jazz winning in 7.
Yeah, I got Clips in 6.
Clips in
I'll
6.
say
That's fair.
if the Jazz win Game 6, I
It's
don't
over.
think the Clippers can go into Utah and win a Game 7 without Kawhi.
Yeah,
So
I
I
think
think they close
Jazz-
them out in 6.
Jazz in 7.
I got Jazz in 7, but I feel like Mike Conley's return actually plays a pretty big.
I don't think he's going to return.
I don't.
He's-
If he doesn't
he's not
return,
coming
then
back.
it's not gonna-
He's not
I don't know.
coming
It's gonna
back.
be really close, in my opinion.
Okay, cool.
He's
All
not
right.
coming back.
Thank you all for watching. Let us know how you think the series is going to go in the comment section below. If you like the video, leave a thumbs up. Thank you all for watching. This has been The Last Word.